Hi everybody, I'm Mrs. Chitra Gopinath. Welcome to the Grammar Post channel. Today we are going to see how the interrogative pronouns who, whom, whose, which and what can also be used as relative pronouns. Before that, let's see the word for today. The word is inextricable, which means impossible to separate. And the root word of this is inextricabilis, which means cannot be separated or disentangled. Now, let's use this word in a sentence. Meetings are an inextricable part of business. He says that there is an inextricable link between poverty and poor health. Now, hope you're clear with this word. Let's get linked to the topic. What are relative pronouns? Pronouns that relate the noun that comes before them to the relative clause that follows them in a sentence are called relative pronouns. Now, let's see some essential information needed to use these relative pronouns. For example, this is the doctor who treated my illness. Here, the part of the sentence which starts from the relative pronoun who, which means who treated my illness, is a relative clause. And this relative clause can be classified into restrictive relative clause and non-restrictive relative clause. Now, what is restrictive relative clause? It provides information which cannot be omitted, whereas non-restrictive relative clause provides information which can be omitted. The pronouns who and which can be replaced by the pronoun that because the information of the subject is a restrictive relative clause. And the pronouns who and which cannot be replaced by that where the information about the subject is a non-restrictive relative clause. The relative pronouns always agree with their antecedent in number, person and gender. Now, what is an antecedent? It is a word or words that are referred to by the relative pronouns. For example, he is the man who rescued me. Here, the noun man is the antecedent of the relative pronoun who. Are you clear with these information? Now, let's use the relative pronouns who, whom and whose in sentences. The pronoun who refers only to persons. It is called the subject pronoun because the doer of the action is the subject in a sentence. For example, the girl who danced well won the prize. My uncle Bob, who is a shopkeeper, has a dog. In the first example, the information about the subject, that is, who danced well, is a restrictive relative clause, and hence the relative pronoun who cannot be replaced by that, and noun girl is an antecedent. In the second example, the information about the subject is a non-restrictive clause, and hence the relative pronoun who cannot be replaced by the relative pronoun that, because the sentence my uncle Bob has a dog also makes sense. Now, the pronoun whom is a formal reference to persons. It is called the object pronoun because the doer of the action is the object. In this case, the subject is the receiver of the action. For example, he is the candidate whom we chose. Gandhiji is the one whom most people admire. In these examples, the nouns we and the people in the first and second sentence respectively are the objects, and the noun candidate and Gandhiji are the antecedents. Next, the pronoun whose is the possessive form of the relative pronoun who. For example, the man whose bike is green laughed at me. The boy whose father is a doctor is my classmate. Now, hope you got a clear idea about these pronouns. Well, you must have understood from the discussion so far that these relative pronouns serve as an inextricable link between the nouns and the relative clauses in a sentence. We shall see some more examples using the rest of the relative pronouns in the next session. And many people have been asking me if this channel subscription is free of cost. Of course, it is free. So please do remember to like, share and subscribe this channel. And also post your doubts if any in the comment section. Thank you.